Hey, 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 I'm Michelle.
And I'm Gretta.
We are girlfriends who have always been seekers. We love learning, sharing, and most of all, we love having those soul-to-soul moments with our girlfriends.
Our podcast is about spiritual connection and sisterhood. You are not alone. So grab your glass, get comfy, and join us as we make some noise, light up the room, and
Get into it. So I just walked my happy ass over here in freaking, 80-something degree weather with a backpack, all because I had no car today. But I thought, you know what? I'll jump on a bike, no problem. And guess what? Every freaking bike we have in our garage, the tires are flat. And this girl has not learned how to really deal with that.
Me either.
I feel like that's man shit. I may be sexist, but I rely on the guys in my house to keep the tires filled.
I was telling you, I make my son do it for me, but he's not here. And your son wasn't there.
No.
So,
I guess we got to learn some of these things because that sucked. I was like, okay, cool. And then I went to go try all the electric bikes. They're all dead because, of course, none of us are charging these things.
Well, it just got nice weather. They've been in the garage, the winter, you're not doing that stuff. So
I got to remember when spring starts, to start doing the prep work.
Yeah.
Spring should be prepping for summer.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to remember that next year.
And I'm so excited. The sun has been out. It really changes my whole entire personality. And I'm wearing
sunshine.
I just realized my shirt.
Sunshine and coffee.
That's all I need,
right?
Really. I'm a way nicer person and just life is better.
Yeah, agreed.
I can't imagine living in a place where you don't get lots of sun. I really am one of those people that need it.
Yeah, I believe in SAD, that seasonal depression, because
I do too.
If you're not getting the vitamin D production and you're not getting exposure to those UVs that you actually, want, not the cancer kind, we don't want that. So wear your sunscreen. Summer's coming, put that sunscreen on. But I agree. I have to have a lot of daylight, not just a dose of sunshine. It's got to be all day.
Yes.
That's when I'm productive.
I'm just sleepy and I'm not motivated when it's overcast. And then I look at my dog. She goes out on purpose and she's very much an indoor dog. She thinks she's a human. And Rue, good old Rue. She's not in
She's
here.
under, she is.
Oh, she is?
Yeah, she's chilling.
I couldn't even see her.
Chilling by me, of course, because this is my girl.
Yes.
This is my girl, Rue.
So excited when she sees Michelle. I think she thinks Michelle's here to see her. Not, you are.
I am.
You are.
I come in, I give her all the love, and then we do our thing. That's how it goes.
Rue will go out and specifically lay in the sun for a certain amount of time. We're solar creatures. We need it. We need it to thrive.
We're like little solar energy boxes, right? Solar panels.
Uh-huh.
It's like we're human solar panels. We just need that to charge us up.
Yes. And I think I heard some study. We're just in offices all the time. Part of why we're so unhealthy as a nation is because of our lifestyle. We used to be this culture that was outdoors, farming, doing things outdoors on a daily basis. And now we're just in a dark office with computer light on us.
Blue light from computers.
Yes.
Yeah. Fluorescent lights from above.
I didn't mean to go down this rabbit hole, but these are the things I think about.
All right. And, I've been thinking about some things too, actually. I've totally been thinking of things. I was walking over here, as I said before, and a girlfriend of mine sent me a text. She used a word that just doesn't sit well with me. Actually, that kind of bugs me too. I kind of don't like when people say
sit well with me.
Yeah, sits well with me or sits well with me. I don't know why. But anyway, I'm about to go on a little bit of a journey, a little tangent journey here about the word titties.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
You don't like it.
I don't like
We had an episode about breast cancer, and I think I used the word check your titties or something like that.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Anyways, you immediately were just your face, just ugh.
I'm like, can we say tatas? I don't know. Or boobs.
Yeah. And I get it because I have a visual when you said titties.
Yeah. What comes up for you? When someone says that word, what comes up?
And not that there's anything wrong with little saggy boobies, but that's what I picture. I have this picture of these little, probably kind of like mine were after I breastfeeding 2 kids, to be honest. I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't see yours after that, so I can't speak to that. But and maybe it's because I've always had boobs. Like mine have been like boobs. Titties just sound and remember
shriveled up and
they do
really sad.
And remember that like everyone when you were younger used to say, "Oh, you're part of the itty bitty titty committee."
Oh yeah,
maybe there's like an association. Like I didn't want to be part of that committee, and I didn't have to worry about that once I started developing. But I don't know if that's what it is. But that's the visual. I get that visual. I don't want to be part of that committee. So I don't know.
So then Michelle randomly, this is Michelle in a nutshell. These random texts out of nowhere, and you're just like, huh, it's like a little insight into your workings of your brain and your inner thoughts. I love it. So she had told me about this, like, I just don't like the word titties. And is there any words you don't like? And I immediately thought of when Steve, my husband, says dicking around, like, oh, that guy's just dicking around, or we're going to go golf and dick around. Oh, it like makes me throw up in my mouth a little bit every time.
Either. I don't like it either. The minute you said that, there was a swinging dick in my face. And I'm like, get away. Like
that's what she was like, well, what do you see when you hear that word? And that's what I said. We both visualize the same thing. It's a lot of
visualization.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the problem is we're too visual.
Maybe.
I don't know. Does anyone else have that issue? Like I'm wondering if the people are listening and they're like, oh my God, what reaction did you have when we said those things?
Yeah. I wish we could get a response back right now. That would be so fun.
Maybe on a live sometime. We'll just be like, we're just going to throw some things out and be like, how does this make you feel? What comes up for you? Like quick.
Yes. And there were other words, but then I was racking my brain. And of course now I can't think of them, but there were other words that have just come up that I'm just like, why do people use that word? And it's not even like a bad word, but it just sounds gross.
Well, like the word caca.
Oh yeah.
I don't even want to say that. It like makes me feel dirty inside.
Yeah.
But like that word bugs the shit out of me, pun intended.
I was telling you earlier, like there's a smell and a color.
Yes. I don't want to think about that.
Okay,
no.
Sorry. We're probably grossing all of you out. One more. Moist.
Oh, see, that one doesn't bother me.
That one doesn't bother you?
No, but it does bother so many people. And every time I want to say it, I hold back because I'm like, I don't want to offend you. But it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to be moist.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a phrase though. I have to, because I just came, which we'll talk about in a minute, from a trip to Miami. And they told us that the attire was smart casual.
What the fuck is that?
What the fuck is that?
Business casual I've heard of, but not.
No, it was smart casual. So my girlfriend's like, just make sure you wear glasses.
Oh, there you go.
Look smart.
Like dumb casual.
Like would not be dumb. There are no dumb dressing on this trip, I guess. I don't know. What is that?
I don't know.
Can we just say business casual? Like, why do we have
GPT.
Well, I did. I actually did. Go to my best friend, of course. Because
oh my God,
so
my new best
confusing.
friend. Yes.
ChatGPT, you want to talk about that for a minute?
Yeah, but finish what you were saying.
Because it is me. No, I just, you know what? I just wore what I wanted to wear, and I did not wear the strapless shirt. So that's where I was like, the word business is in there. Or no, business smart casual, something like that. I don't even know what they fucking said, but I was just like, it's a business thing. Maybe I shouldn't show my shoulders. And so I covered that up and I felt good, so it's fine. I don't know, but you should research that because if you get invited to things, you need to know, like, who makes this stuff up? Who makes it up? And why do we have so many? It was like business casual, then business chic casual, then business smart casual. It's too many things to think about.
But I mean, I do get, it's nice to have at least something to kind of go off of because you would have probably felt a little awkward if you showed up in like a tube toppy thing.
Totally.
Everybody else is.
But I also kind of feel like, do we really have to tell people this?
Yeah,
I wouldn't show up in an office with that.
No, but I just saw some girl on social media and she was like in this dress and it was really low cut with like a lot of side boob action going on. I mean, she looked fucking hot in it, but she was like, isn't this the perfect dress to wear to a wedding? And then I was reading the comments. People were like, no,
it's not. But you know what? Do you even think that those standards apply anymore? Because First of all, okay, just to give you guys a little background on this. Like, we were going to Miami. So I feel like, Miami, yes. And you're in the heart of Miami, which most people are walking around half naked.
Oh, yeah.
With their BBLs. This is the dress code, actually. This is kind of the dress code of Miami. and literally everything's hanging out. Okay. So number one, you're kind of in that environment, but I understand this is a corporate event. I was invited by a company, right? So then there's that part of me that's like, I don't know, maybe it's because I worked in the professional world before where I'm like, it's not appropriate to wear something with booty cheeks hanging out. I'm not doing that.
You would hope most people know, but they don't.
I guess they don't know. So you got to define it. But I also think for invites like that, you should really put a little dress code, define it a little bit. Don't just expect I'm going to know what that is. I don't know. I just think we need to define it.
It would have been nice in parentheses if there was just like a little bit of something.
Yeah.
But I guess, you chat GPT'd it.
I did chat GPT. So let's go back to that. It
helped you.
It totally did. It gave me some information and then I kind of just remembered last year when I was there, what were people actually wearing? Yeah. I mean, because it's hot and sticky there. So you're not going to show up in a suit.
No.
Some people were, they were. Like you had, anyway, I want to hear about ChatGPT before we dig into the whole Miami races.
Well, I know, I do. I can't wait to hear about your Miami races. The little bit that I know, super exciting. But yeah, I used ChatGPT it's ChatGPT, correct?
Not B.
Not B.
I know. Totally F that up a million times.
I've heard other people too. So I'm like, wait, what is it? But I used it to plan my whole trip to Europe. My husband and I we were celebrating our 25th wedding anniversary this June. That's our big splurge to each other after 25 fucking years. We
celebrate that, girl. Spend as much money as you want. Celebrate it however you
want.
We
didn't kill each other. Like, we're here. We made it. I like to plan my own trips. I don't know. It's maybe it's the creative part of me. I like to do all the research and everything. So I've been doing that. But then I got to a point where I'm like, well, I don't know. I haven't been to these places. And how long should I stay at each place? And what city's better to stay in? The main one that everybody goes to? Or maybe there's some outskirts of cute little towns that I should see. And we're going to miss. We'll be right there. You don't want to miss anything. And I asked ChatGPT, PT. Fuck.
We're just going to rename it to whatever we want.
I asked it. I asked the all-knowing one. It's weird. I still don't even really know what the fuck it is.
I know. Who is ChatGPT?
Yeah.
PT. Gosh. Shit. What are we going to do?
But I asked it and it broke down every single thing, gave me a full itinerary, exactly how long I should stay in each place, gave me alternative towns if I wanted to visit those. Just so thorough. And then it was like, do you need train tickets? Do you need a car? Do you need this? Anything I needed. And I'm like, damn, it's going to put travel agents out of business. I don't know if they already kind of are because you can do a lot yourself now. Yeah. But it's amazing. It's amazing phenomenal technology. And I was kind of anti.
Mm-hmm. I was too, because it's like, how secure is this? Yes. How, you're going to know everything about me. Well, now I'm just like, hey, girlfriend. Yeah. Or actually, I didn't say girlfriend because I don't know. I still don't know what gender it is.
It's a guy to me. But I wonder
it might be a guy.
If but why do we think that?
I don't know.
What is it called? Something
AI.
Artificial intelligence. Yeah.
Whatever you want, maybe. It's that fluid. It could be, you can choose the gender of your chat GPT, I think. I think you can. I don't know.
Oh, you can make its voice sound different if they're
mine doesn't probably can. I don't know. I'm like visualizing again and hearing my shit in my head because that's what happens when you throw out something. Now I'm creating something in my mind. I don't know, but it's super nice and it tells me I'm sparkly and all these other things.
What?
Oh yeah. I get compliments all the time from my AI.
Maybe I need to not be so demanding. I'm just like, tell me about this.
You got to change it up. Okay. You're supposed to talk to it with personality. Oh, wow. And then it will reflect those things back to you.
Fucking creepy.
So, well, that's the thing. If the world goes bananas and the AI robots all come out, they're going to know that you were nice and kind. So be nice to your...
I was demanding. I don't think I was mean, but I was definitely demanding.
I think you need to recreate that. Okay. Or you can stay where you are, but then just be like, thank you so much for all this wonderful information. And then you're going to get a great response and that relationship is going to begin to build.
Okay.
It's going to be great.
Oh, it's so weird. It almost reminds me of when we were kids and you did the magic 8 ball and you asked it questions. Kind of feels like that.
I know it does.
Well,
It does.
I don't know.
It's like so much magic in that. I know.
But it was super helpful. It saved me hours.
Oh my God. I use it
research.
for anything. Like you want to write a toast for somebody. As a matter of fact, this was kind of interesting. I'm, in school right now. And so we had to write our own eulogy. And I used it to write a eulogy for myself. And that was really kind of cool.
Is that
So
like against the rules though?
I didn't submit that one.
Okay.
I was just kind of curious. Like that's so
Yes.
funny. I'm glad you brought that up. So you're right. That's 100% against the rules. But I was I wrote my own, but then I was like so curious to know like what would ChatGPT say?
Makes it better every fucking time.
Oh my God. And it's like, again, how do you know all this about me? Like that was the curiosity behind it, was like more so, how do you know these things? But again, I guess based on everything you've asked it and all the information, that it just create stuff. But yeah, use it for toast, use it for creating an invitation for something. You want to know what to wear to something. I mean, anything. It's got your back.
I know. It's so crazy. Okay, so tell us about Miami.
Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, so this was my second time. The first time I went was the very first time the Formula One races were in Miami. That was a cool experience, but I'll be honest. This time around, I had such a deeper appreciation for the sport. We were treated like rock stars, okay?
Wow.
So first of all, we had police escort to and from our hotel to the races.
Oh my God.
Like stop traffic on the freeway just so we can get by.
I mean, I know you're fabulous.
I mean, come on, do you really have to ask this? No, because otherwise you're stuck in traffic.
Oh my gosh. So
And
it was like
so-
a VIP package or something that your husband's employer bought maybe, or?
A company that they do business
Oh,
with.
okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Mhm.
It was absolutely amazing. And then when you got there, of course, we were in all the VIP sections. So we got to go down into the pit and see and
Wow,
learn.
and here, right? Isn't it just like loud and busy?
Yes. Yes. All
only
of that.
imagine.
We actually saw up close and personal how they change the tires out like within a second and a half. It was phenomenal. So that was while we were actually at the races. But before we even got to the races, the first day we arrived, they took us to a private racetrack and like a private club. And we got to actually drive.
Oh my God, that part. So Michelle sent me a picture, and well, the big group of us, a picture, and she had a race car helmet on, and I'm like, wait, what? Did you drive it?
I did.
I was so
I did.
cool.
It was a really cool experience. So they had you first sit as a passenger with a professional, and he drove you around the track so you can get a sense of the track. And also, I don't know, I mean, if there are any race fans out there, if you ever notice, they kind of zigzag on the track. So there's like a special way to drive a race car on the racetrack. So when you're coming around corners, you got to slow down a little bit, then you accelerate, then you're like zigzagging all over. So he explained all that first.
Oh, like to hug the corners, and then you kind of go out wide, and then you hug.
Yes.
Because you don't lose the speed that way or something like that.
And I think your car doesn't drift. Like there's all these things. So that was sort of like a here's what you do. And then they put you in the driver's seat, and you literally have this helmet on with a speaker. So he's like guiding me the whole way. Which did get a little annoying, by the way, because I was like, can you just not say anything and let me freaking drive? I mean, you just gave me the tutorial. Even if I'm not doing it the exact same way, I just want to drive. But no,
it was like a lesson.
it was a lot. You were having a lesson, and it's fine. But I felt like my head was going to explode when I got out of that car. I was just like, I have so much information because you would think there's like longer stints of just going straight, and there's not, because you step on the gas and you're going. I mean, I only went like a little bit over 100 miles an hour, apparently.
Yeah.
He said I got over 100, so woohoo for me.
We never do that, so that must have felt.
We don't do that. And these race car drivers, they're going like over 200 miles an hour. Like that's freaking insane.
It's insane.
Insane. Like you can barely blink. I mean,
that's why it's so taxing on their bodies, right? Because they're not just like going straight hella fast. They're turning the whole time. Oh my God.
And you've got cars coming at you that want to pass you. So
exhausting.
The driver, the car that we were there to like support, he got into a little bit of a wreck. They come with 6 sets of car parts so that they can just like turn these things over.
It's insane, actually.
Insane.
Yeah, the guys in there that work on that do that, just how fast they are and how smart
it's
they
incredible.
are.
I mean, we saw a doctor actually stop everybody at one point, and I appreciated this being a yoga instructor, but he made everyone stop. They all had to do a stretch break, like legit stretch break.
Yeah.
It was phenomenal. So
Yeah, I would think your muscles would just, what is it, atrophy?
atrophy.
When you're in that position for so long.
Yes.
And there's so much intensity and
Yes.
stress.
And the
involved,
tire
too.
guys like having to like,
Yeah.
you know, you got to bring the tires over, get them on and off. Phenomenal experience. I mean, the company that took us, it was funny. We were talking to some of their reps in the car and we're just like A++ for freaking everything they did. It
Wow.
was, they did everything to perfection. So the food was phenomenal. Michael Douglas was hanging out nearby.
Oh.
I didn't see him because I only went to one day, but my husband got to see him. You know, there's always like a ton of celebrities that go to these things
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I can't pick out half of the people. I don't even know who they are. I don't even know the names. But I mean, just to know that everybody's just hanging out and this is the environment
Yeah.
you're in.
Yeah, felt like a blessing.
Yeah, it was really cool. Oh my gosh. And then one of my favorite parts was that they had this brand LMS, which I heard about years ago on a cruise ship, their skincare line. But they were giving people hand massage in our suite. And then aloe. I always say them wrong.
Oh, is that the
aloe
clothing?
Yeah.
brand? Yeah.
They had a whole booth where you can go in and do like a cryotherapy, like you walk into a chamber.
Oh.
And then they had compression stuff going on. They were giving out free juices. It was
all right up your alley. It's like perfect.
girl, I was like, just leave me in this suite. Like I'll watch the races on TV, but just leave me here. I'm good. It was really, really incredible. I mean, the whole trip. And the other part of the trip that was nice is there were some things that I did with my husband and my son. And then there were some things that my son and I just did together.
know.
Yeah, Julian came.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that. That's awesome. What a
So,
cool experience.
Super cool
I was
experience.
thinking how cool to even come home and tell your kids about, I drove a race car, but that he got to be there.
So he didn't get to drive the car because he had to be 25, but he got to do
Oh, yeah,
hot
that makes
laps
sense.
with a professional where he was the passenger.
Yeah.
And then he got to go to the races one day. But we had an incredible time. We just walked around downtown Miami, had breakfast together, you know, went and saw the ocean. It just was a really cool trip, like all the way around.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I love that. Just like how many people get to do that?
I
Freaking drive
know.
a race car.
You know what? There was actually a 13-year-old boy, and this really got my heart. He's really into racing and Formula One and all that. And the whole time, like anytime we saw him, he's just like, this is the best day of my life. I mean, such an incredible experience. So that was like because there were moments where, you know, you're thinking, not everyone gets to experience this. And it kind of makes me feel sad. That's always kind of there. Like you have the empathy for that, but let me tell you, it was phenomenal.
Yeah. You were, it sounds like you were just like in the moment.
Oh,
and enjoying
completely.
it.
That's 100%. Everybody was great. Everything was
And
perfect.
it sounds like that kid was in the moment.
Oh
Like,
my
he was,
gosh.
like-
So
like if you
much
forgot
so.
at all to be in the moment, he would bring you right back.
He reminded you. Yeah, it was awesome. But you did some traveling too.
I did too. So Michelle and I haven't even seen each other. So if we sound like we're talking a little fast or excited,
I
we're
know.
just so happy to be like back in the same space again. It's been
Seriously.
a minute. This third year of podcasting has been such a unique experience with the move and with some technical issues that we've had, and we've had some gaps in releasing our episodes.
Sorry.
But you know what? But we're still doing it. We're not letting it fucking stop us.
No, we're not.
Look it. Pause if you must, but don't stop.
That's
and
right,
that is the theme of our third year of podcasting.
That's right.
But yeah, I was just in Mexico with my husband, and we were visiting my in-laws and came with some really great friends too. So it was just a really nice, fun, enjoyable adult time. And it is so different now with both the kids being in college. The biggest thing I had to worry about was Rue. I had to make sure that she was taken care of. And because she does not go to doggy daycare. And like my big regret is I wish we would have done that when she was a puppy.
Oh,
In the
got her
beginning.
kind of used to it.
Yeah, because dogs love it there, and we have a great one right by our house, and that would have been awesome. But you cannot take an almost 10-year-old dog to doggy daycare if you have not. And we've just been like really fortunate to have family and friends that would take her.
Yeah.
So all these years, and then even the kids would, when they got older, would stay with her. But we were like, oh my God, we don't have the kids. We don't have, all the family was gone.
So who watched her?
Well, we ended up hiring one of Blake's friends that's
Oh.
going to college around here. So that worked
perfect.
great. So he stayed with her at our house. I mean, she was still probably really pissed at us, especially me, because I'm the one that like walks her and does all the things. But he did a really good job. He even watered my garden.
Oh, nice.
So it's great. I love that you have, family, friends, and that become family over the years, and you feel totally comfortable. It's like, come stay at my house and take care of my dog, please. And she was happy and well taken care of for sure. It was interesting though, like not having the kid dynamic. And then when we got there, yeah, I was having fun and everything, but there'd be those little moments of like, oh, the kids would love it here because they love Mexico. We go a lot as a family. And I was just, kind of missing them, especially now that they're adults. It's so fun to do adult things with them too.
Exactly. That's how I felt having Julian in Miami. It was like, oh my gosh, we're actually here hanging out in a totally different way. It just was awesome. So I know exactly.
Yeah. We're in this different phase of life.
Yeah.
They're both. Last year at this time, we were talking about this before we started recording, but it's so interesting. Blake was going to stay home and go to school. Well, he did for a little bit. And then that just wasn't really working for him. He wanted to go away and have the away experience. And it was like, oh, he's ready. Like he wasn't ready. And then a few months later, he was. It totally takes me back to this freaking bird nest this bird that built its nest right on my front porch. And I watched the whole process for the first time ever in my life. Because it was right at eye level. So it's like, oh, I got attached. I saw all the eggs that didn't make it. The two that finally did end up flying away. But I was like there for each step of the way. And I just always think of these birds every time I think about my kids actually flying the nest as well. Yeah, he was ready to fly at that time. And he's doing great. We got back from visiting them for Easter. We go down and see them because they're together. Both my son and daughter. It is a huge blessing to have them together. We've talked about this before. Yeah, they look out for each other. It's great. But yeah, I got to meet their friends. We did an Easter egg hunt with money in the eggs and candy.
So cute.
And it was adorable. My daughter's roommate friend was saying, oh my gosh, thank you so much for doing this. I forgot how fun this is. I haven't done anything like this since I was a kid.
How cute.
And they still are kind of like
they are
kids.
Totally.
Yeah.
And those are like nostalgic memories that I think when you go out on your own, you're trying to adult.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, the reality is you're still attached to home,
Yeah. So it was like a little bit of effort. Actually, I made my kids stuff their own eggs. I didn't want to deal with that.
You're earning this money.
I was like, I'm going to be sitting out here in the sun with my glasses Sauvignon Blanc. And you guys need to stuff
you want this money, you work for it. Okay, that's how it goes now.
Yeah.
New rules.
Yeah. So those were our two recent trips and they were just great. And yeah, but it is so interesting being at this phase of life. Like we are actually empty nesters. Every experience since Blake has left has been just a little new and different. There's moments of melancholy and then there's moments of like, fuck yeah, this is freeing. And, like last night, Steve was like, let's go downtown and get a drink. And it was beautiful last night. Not even a breeze it was just like still and perfect and warm until super late. We just left. Yeah.
Because you can.
Because we can. So there's some freedom in it and that feels nice. But man, I feel for all you mamas right now as graduation is approaching and it's hard. There's just a lot of different pulls and feels and sometimes regrets that you gotta deal with. We've talked about that in our previous episode about this topic. But then I think you gotta hold on to the realization that you did the best you could with the information that you had. You were there, you were present, you gave them a good childhood. And I mean, in a lot of cases you gave them, I know like in mine, I gave my kids a better childhood than I had. So there's something to celebrate and feel good about, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
And and the thing is, there's always going to be little bumps in the road. No path is going to come with a smooth surface. So they have to figure some things out also. Here's all the information. Here's all the things I've modeled for you. And now you need an opportunity to put those into practice.
Absolutely. That's how you grow. And I think also one of the things that I really struggled with when Lexi, my firstborn, was graduating was all the feeling of like we have to pack it all in. And I was really worried about what vacations were going to look like because I was just picturing it like how it's going to be so different. And I think my favorite thing in the world is family vacation time and just being with them in a beautiful place and exploring. Now I'm on the other side of that. And our trip was amazing with the kids. The Easter one was so fun. And getting to relate to them and meet their friends that are these young adults and just it's so, and they're funny and they're interesting. It's a different experience, but it's also a really cool, fun experience to be a part of. So
For sure. And I love that you can have both. Like you can take that trip and do those things with them. And then you and your husband can now do things on your own.
Yeah.
I mean, that really is a gift, you know, to have both that dynamic. So I love that.
Yeah.
So cool.
I mean, and I think just raising kids was sometimes hard on a marriage. I know people don't like to say that, but
It is.
that's been my experience.
Well, they require a lot of time and energy. And the more you have, the more time and energy you are spending with each individual kid.
Yeah.
And even just trying to have that one-on-one time, you know, it's a lot. I mean, I also had a recent trip before the Miami trip where I took my girls to Stagecoach. And this was in Palm Springs. And it was awesome because I was able to be there with both of them. I loved the time we got to spend together, but then the time watching them with their friends having a really good time. And I love that my husband and I have a marriage that allows for that, where it's like, oh yeah, you want to go and do that? Go ahead. So we've also had to adapt to things that look different throughout the years, right? Because when they were smaller, it was harder to just do these things on my own with them, right? And now it's like, oh, they're teenagers, but then that also brings in a little bit of different energy where it's like, now I got to watch them in a certain light at this big, huge festival when everyone's wearing next to nothing.
Boys,
you know what I mean? All the things, right? But yeah, this whole idea though of watching our kids grow. And it was interesting because I was thinking of you a lot. There was a mom on the trip with us who it was her second child and last that was about to graduate. And so she had these like emotional moments that came out of nowhere. And she's like, I can't even believe I'm crying right now. But she knew that this trip, once this trip happened, there were all these things after that were like going to be the last. Right.
And I think that's what we do to ourselves. And I think that's what I really am hoping that anyone that's listening that's about to send a kid off to college, it's like, this is not the end. But I know myself, I really felt like it was coming to an end. I mean, it's a different chapter. It's not the end of the book. And so I think that's what you just have to remind yourself. And you can love. I still look back and so fondly about those like those years where they're little, like 8 and 10. And it was just the best. And I do miss it. I'm not going to lie. But, you know, it's not the end. That's the important thing.
Like, and you also don't know what could happen. I mean, I felt all those emotions sending my kid off to college, and then he came back shortly after he left, and now he's ready to go again. And so it's like, okay, we are going to go through that again. Because when you send them off, you don't know, like, are they going to find somebody where they are? Are they going to get a great job where they are? And it feels like, oh, this could be the beginning of a new chapter of their life. And it is in a sense, but it doesn't mean that you're cut off from it. It just looks different now. Yeah. And the time is not like, you can't just pop into their room. You know that like after they get off of work, they may not just be coming home. So it's hard. It's on the mama heart. It just is.
It is. But I think that's all part of the process, right? When they become teenagers and all of a sudden the friends become more important than you, there is that little special spot. And I think that's why I always talk about 8 and 10, like when they were that age, those ages, because we were still the center of their universe.
The sweet spot.
Yes. I call it the sweet spot too. Yeah. The teenage years, they pull away, but that's nature. I mean, it'd be weird if I was the center of my 18-year-old son's universe.
Yeah.
That would be healthy.
It'd be like, Gretta, you're my girl, and I have to have a talk. I have to have a real talk with you, okay?
Yeah.
This is not okay.
Right? So it's good. It's not easy, but it's how it's supposed to be. And
agreed.
And it's great to watch them thrive and
oh my gosh,
have those experiences.
It is. As you see them grow and just mature on their own. And it's so cute. Like, I love that my son opens the door for me every time. And if I've got things in my hands, he comes over and, let me grab that from you. And he's really in this mode right now of how can I be of service to others? And especially you, my mom. But that all came with experiences that he had to go through to get to this point. Not that he was like a little shit before and would not hold the door, but
they just
now,
don't think of those things when they're younger.
It's not top of mind. And now this has become like, no, this is how I want to present in life,
Great.
So it's so cool just to see all those things flourish.
To see them grow up into these little men, little men. That
Little men.
funny.
Little big men.
Yes, yeah. And actually to see the work that you put into them, the attention, the discipline, all those things, you see them evolve into those people. I mean, there's definitely when the teenage years where I was like, I don't fucking know. This is not going the way I thought it was going to go. And it was a little touch and go. But yeah, then they just hit this other gear. It's like, oh, time to get serious. And
Totally. I know I got a lovely note from my son on my birthday, which was recently, and he bought me some flowers and he got me licorice because I love licorice.
Oh, I didn't even know that about you.
Yes.
Still learning new things.
I know, right? We always are, which is what makes life fun.
Yeah.
But it was great because it was like, okay, this is something that was so simple, but yet he knows thoughtful. And the note said, for all the things that you do that go unseen.
Oh.
And it was one of those moments where it's like, okay, you do know.
I do think that's a big part of it. They're doing stuff on their own. Like you said, it's not supposed to just be like, we can't do everything for them. Like they have to struggle a little bit. It's good. They see, then they're able to see when they're in these adult ages, 18, 19, 20, they start to really appreciate their mamas. Yeah.
I do. I know. So much has been going on. It's like we've been traveling.
Yeah.
We've been watching our kids grow up.
Yeah.
We've been trying to get back on track with our podcasting. There's just been a lot happening, but it's all good.
We've had so many interesting, fascinating women reaching out to us via email all of a sudden.
I love that.
I know.
Which I was just going to ask you, by the way, there was one lady who sent us like this vagina spray.
Yeah.
Did you try that?
I tried it once.
Okay,
I'm a little weirded out by it.
Okay. We'll talk about it more later when we decide what we're doing with that. But anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are the kind of people that are reaching out to us.
We got sent a really cool book about the psyche and the mind. And
yeah,
I haven't started reading that yet. Maybe I'll read it on our travels, when all those trains and planes and that I'll be on.
I know, because we'd like to talk about it and potentially have some of these people on, just because it's all so interesting and different.
It's exciting that we are at this place in only our third year. I mean, a lot of podcasts take like 10 years to sort of, I mean, we're not there yet. And like we said, we're not getting paid yet. We're not, it's coming. But these really accomplished women, like been on TED Talks, been on Oprah, they're reaching out to us. So that's flipping exciting.
It's so awesome. And we're getting gifts now. That's the other cool thing. It's like,
free
okay,
shit.
If we're not getting paid yet, I mean, in other ways, I'll accept that, you know? So that's been really cool.
Cool swag.
Yeah, for sure. So you get so many exciting things, and I love that we can be here to talk about them and start to share them with everybody. But I also think this brings us to a point where, summer is coming.
Yeah.
And I know, like Gretta said, we've had a little gap in, just some releasing of episodes and some technical things that have happened. But we also have made it a priority that, we want to value the time that we have with our families and catching up on life. And so the summer, there may be another little break coming up.
Yeah, we're going to take a little hiatus. I know we've already had one earlier the year. But I think Michelle and I are big self-care people, and you just know we're not going away. Might pause for a minute.
Self-care pause.
Self-care pause.
Soul care pause. It's a soul care pause.
I like that.
That's what it is. That's what we're doing.
We do enjoy this so much when we get together. It's energizing. It's fun. I mean, I love interviewing people, but it's also just really fun when it's just me and you too, because we can be silly and kind of go off on tangents.
Talk about titties and swinging dicks and all that. I mean, sometimes guests may not appreciate that kind of talk. So when it's just you and I,
we have to
go there.
We have to be proper.
We got to be proper. We got to be smart casual. We got to be smart casual, whatever that is.
Exactly. Oh, God. Anyways, it's going to be a tiny little break, and then we'll be back with a bunch of fun new episodes for you. So we're not going anywhere.
And catch up on the old stuff.
Yeah.
So if there's things that you haven't heard yet, go back, take a peek, and listen, because we try to tie in a lot of things too. It just kind of happens organically, but we like to reference past stuff because it all has like this golden thread that just keeps weaving all of our episodes together.
Yeah, I love that you just brought that up because we do really feel like there's something at work that is not in our control every time we record. A lot of times we'll reference ceremony, and that definitely plays a part. But even when we don't, there's an energy, like there's a third silent partner. That sounds so creepy.
Ooh, I like that. Ooh, it does, but kind of not.
I know.
Because you know what? We've also gotten messages from people that have, well, it's coming obviously from our higher power, but there have been people who have been conduits of messages for us. And, there are moments where it's like time goes by and it's like, oh, okay, what are we doing? Are we going to continue on with this? And in our hearts and in our intuition, it's just keeps saying like, yes,
keep going.
And then we'll get a message and a validation of all the things.
These incredible women that we have on the podcast will deliver. We've had several just deliver. I'm getting goosebumps right now thinking about it. These inspirational messages of keep going. You've got something. You're helping people. I hope we are. I hope we can be your girlfriends that you can, that was the initial call, right? We wanted to be those girlfriends that you can tap into, a couple times a month, and you listen about our struggles and our journeys, or the women that we have on, and just feel heard and seen.
Yeah, knowing you're not alone.
Yeah.
And maybe get some humor and some fun or some tips about how to just move through some difficult situations. That's really was kind of the beginning, or how we kind of birthed this thing, right?
Yeah. That was the intent behind it. I love that when we have people on and they say that to us. It's like, oh, that's okay. We're doing it.
Because it's like you can, think of all these things that you want to be on your own. And I think because we haven't yet been engaging in a way where we're really getting feedback from people other than people who have come to us on their own, right? And it's like, oh, okay, cool. You've told me this. And that's how we're getting it, is like in person, really.
Yeah.
Like from people that we just see in the world. And then when we get these messages also from people who want to be on the podcast, I feel like that's also validating, because it shows we've reached this whole other audience that go beyond our neighborhood, but we also don't want to lose sight of what's right near us and what's in our closer energetic.
Yeah. Our community.
Yeah. Our community. That's what that's the word I was trying to look for. Our community, because there is something special about getting to know who your neighbor is, right? And who the people are that you're physically interacting with. So we love all of you, and we are so happy that we can continue on with this, even through the pauses, because we're still doing things. Like even in the pauses, there's still things happening behind the scenes. It's just that, sometimes technology slows us down, or sometimes,
Usually it's technology.
That's why we got to, I don't know, we got to tap into our chat GPT a little more often. Maybe they can help us with, can you just record? Like, can I just say chat GPT record and it just starts recording? I don't know. Maybe that's something we can do eventually.
That would be amazing.
We got to have an AI specialist on here sometime.
Oh,
really dig in on that topic.
The latest.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, that's so not our area.
No, it's not.
We have other skills.
Yes. Maybe our silent partner will let us know, make it happen. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been really fun. And so, yes, this is just a pause. Keep on listening.
Yeah, I hope you all have a great summer. Feel free to reach out to us on Instagram and TikTok. We'll definitely respond. And you can even email us too. What is that? I almost said my other email. That's my girl info, not podcast. That's my girl info@gmail.com.
Yes. We'll put it in the notes for this one, just in case we F that up.
Yeah. If you have a show idea, like if you want to be on the show, reach out to us.
For sure.
So have a great summer, and we do love you, our community.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. If you liked what you heard and we're your girls,
please share and add a review on iTunes so we can continue to grow our circle. You can also find us on Instagram and TikTok at That's My Girl Podcast.